Hello, YouTube. I just got back from my interview with Walmart, and it was a very brief interview because it was a non-interview. You're not gonna believe what happened. Only to me it seems like stuff like this happens. So I show up, and I was supposed to meet the manager with a guy, and he wasn't there. So a female manager took me in the back to interview me, and pulled out my paperwork and stuff, and then started to ask me questions. And then, she said, "Do you have like Walmart experience?" And I said, "Yeah, I've worked at this store over here." And she had this puzzled look on her face because she was looking over the application, which had all my paperwork. And then she says, "Okay, it says on here that you said you're not available to work on Tuesdays." And I said, "No, I should be available to work on Tuesday. I put all days, all times. I'm totally open to, whatever hours you guys need me." So she, crossed out that I wasn't available on Tuesdays and had me initial all that. Then she took out another piece of paper and had me initial 3 slots and then sign my name on the bottom. So I initialed all 3 slots and then signed my name and then looked on there and said, this name on here says Omanari Sadat or something like that. I said, this isn't me. So I bet you know how the rest of the interview went, right? I was like, oh, it's not? Well, that explains why the stuff doesn't match. It says you were a line cook before. And I was like, no, I've never had line cook experience. So she called another manager, and they went to look for my name on the computer system, and they can't seem to find me for some reason. They were having issues finding my my application. So she tried to call the personnel lady who scheduled the interview, and of course she was off for the day because it was already late in the afternoon. And it turns out that even though they had the cover sheet for the interview, it had my correct name and spelling, but the information inside the sheet belonged to Omanari Sadat or whoever he was. So they either messed up meaning to interview Omanari, or they meant to interview me and pulled the wrong paperwork. Now, I'm hoping that it's the latter, because they did call me. So at one time the personnel lady had my phone number, not Omanari Sadat's phone number. And she did talk to me about having Walmart experience previously and explained to me the job, the shift and what I'd be doing. And asked me if I'd be okay doing that, and I said sure. So we have rescheduled another appointment. So I'm going to be going to another interview on Monday and seeing what happens. Meanwhile, at the Space Coast Stadium, there were like some issues going on with Spherian, the temp agency, and the Brevard Achievement Center, which is the people that hired us for, as temps. They were having scheduling conflicts and issues, so I left there today not knowing if I'll be working next week and not really planning on going back next week unless they sort it out. But the thought would be that if Walmart interviewed me, which they were interviewing me, anyone who's ever been employed by Walmart pretty much knows that once they get to the stage where they call you in for an interview, you more than likely, unless you really botch up the interview, have the job. They don't bother to call you in unless they're pretty sure they want you. And it's just a matter of them talking to you, and then if there's anything weird, then, they'll interview someone else. But for the most part, when they call you in, they pretty much want you. But now, this is a first for me. They called me in for the interview and thought I was somebody else. So I'm not sure what's going to happen on Monday. Stay tuned. I'll let you guys know. Alright? So, hopefully they meant to get me, they meant for me to come in for the interview and I'm the one they wanted and not the other person, because otherwise Monday's going to be like really awkward. Wash your fingers. Pray for me again. Oh, pray that they meant for me to go to the interview and not, well, they might have meant for Omanari Sadat too, because they were talking about the list. There was like some kind of list of the people that they were going to call in or that they wanted. And his name was on the list, I think, and mine wasn't. So that has me a little bit nervous. But I think that they must have meant to contact me because she had my phone number and called me on my phone number. And they sent me a follow-up email telling me about the interview. Although I might have given her my email address at that point. So I'm not sure what's going on. But we're going to find out on Monday. Until next time, everybody, keep me in your thoughts and prayers, and pray that them calling me for an interview wasn't a mistake. Until next time, take care.